Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 161. And we are finally in the Nether, pumping lava. Now, unfortunately, I started recording this episode, or the beginning of it, and then later realized that it wasn't recording my voice, so I had to scrap that, and I'd already set up the system, as you can see. And I'm not about to tear this down just to set it up again on camera. So, I'm going to go through what we have right now. And as you can see, we have a steel tank full of lava that we have pumped up. And we have a pump. We have a biogas engine, which I'm running off of biomass and lava, of course, which we have plenty of. So the engine powers the pump, obviously. It also powers our fluidic compressor over here. And I probably mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, that I was going to do this. So we have the fluidic compressor, and it puts lava into these canisters under pressure. And the gold ones, which is what I'm using, can store 8 buckets per canister. Now, the canisters do not stack, so you get 8 buckets per slot. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not just using the universal fluid cells, because with those you get 64 buckets per slot. And the answer to that is boxes. So a box can hold up to 8 identical items, and it will squeeze them into a single slot. So you have 8 canisters that do not stack. You can put those 8 canisters into a box, which means they will all fit into a single slot. You then have 8 times 8 canisters of lava in a slot, which is 64. So there already we have the same amount as the fluid cells. Then, as you can see, the boxes also stack. And the boxes stack up to 64. And that becomes a ridiculous amount of fluid, 4,096 buckets per slot. However, the drawback obviously is that the canisters requires the fluidic compressor, which needs power to insert fluid into the canisters. It doesn't require power to extract it, presumably because the fluid is under pressure, or something like that. But it does for filling, so that is why I have it hooked up to the engine as well. And then to get the canisters into the boxes, you either have to craft them manually, which is simple enough, but it takes a lot of time to do still. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I have a recipe packager here from Railcraft. I have a recipe set, which is a box and 8 canisters. I have some paper here, which we are going to insert here. This is going to create packages. And that looks kind of weird, but whatever. As you can see, it took 8 canisters. We got an extra one coming from the hopper here, and put them into a package. And now we are going to have a pneumatic-craft hopper coming off of the recipe packager. It's going to take the package and put it into the stamping table, which I'm going to put there. Now we're going to do that. And now we should have the package in here ready to be stamped. And it's obviously not outputting anything else. And we're going to take this laser that I borrowed off of my array down in the factory. And we're going to put it here. That should do, I think. Or not. Doesn't quite have line of sight. So let's try putting it a block up. That should do. So we're going to need another power pipe. Put it there. Doesn't that work? Oh, right. It is because the engine is out of fuel. So we're going to put more biomass into this. I only put one bucket's worth in to begin with. Kind of annoying that this doesn't have 2 slots for the canisters. Means you have to put in one at a time. So there we go. We now have a box full of gold canisters. And then we can have a hopper coming off of that to extract them. So we can have some storage. And I am starving apparently. Probably need to head to the overworld soon to get some food. Let's put in these empty canisters that I have. Should probably get a crate there so I can put more. And I also need to head back for food anyway, so I don't have any wood on me. We're going to head on over here first as a detour, because this is where the pump is currently, or has taken lava. So this seems to be about its range. So it's not going to empty this entire, you can see it's been grabbing here as well. So it's not going to empty the entire lava lake around here. But it is going to empty a sizable chunk of it. Then I'm going to have to move the equipment probably, if there is no Firestone within the emptied area, of course. And then I'm going to repeat that until I find my Firestone. I wouldn't say no to a couple of them, but one would be sufficient. So the remaining work isn't something I'm going to record, obviously, because it's going to take quite a while, and it is slowed down by the rate I'm transferring lava here. Oh dear. Starving and heat stroke. Not a nice combination. So I'm producing more canisters as the resources for that becomes available, which basically means pipe sealant. So cactus and beeswax, which are both being produced pretty slowly. But fortunately the canisters are reusable, obviously, so yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to stop recording shortly, and then I'm going to start recording again once the current area has been drained of lava. And then we are going to come back and see the result and see how many pieces of Firestone we have uncovered, if any. So, with that, I will see you once the pump has done its thing, which for you will be in just a couple of seconds, but for me might take maybe a couple of days, depending on how often I can run this, because the work area in the Nether, of course, is not chunk loaded, so I need to be logged in there to keep it going. But yeah, so I will see you in just a bit. So, it is now later in the same day for me, and the pump has almost removed the first layer of lava. And as you can see, I am no longer storing the lava. I am voiding it using a void bottle from Mariculture, because I had one handy. So yeah, I had filled this tank, and filling the capsules was slow, and it slowed the pumping down pretty significantly. So I've decided to start voiding the lava, because there was too much of it anyway. I wouldn't have been able to store all of this. It would have required a lot of tanks, or some very large tanks, and I probably wouldn't have been able to use it. And there's even more lava anyway, so if I need it, I can just pump up more. So I'm voiding this to speed it up as much as possible. The pump is the bottleneck right now, I'm pretty sure, because it has a limited rate it can work at, which is fine. It's fast enough, but as you can probably tell, this is going to... oh dear. This is going to go on for quite a while. You can see the void bottle here. I'd forgotten the recipe for it, so I looked it up, because it was quite a long time ago that I made these. I should have a bunch lying around, because as you saw, you get 8 of them, and I think I only have 1 or 2 placed around my base, so not sure where I put the rest of them. I had this one sitting in my workshop, of course. But yeah, so this is probably going to take quite a while. Not entirely sure how deep this lava is. As you can see, we are now down 1 level, so it should now have started on the next one. But I can't see it yet. So yeah, probably going to be here for a while. And probably when I report back the next time will be when the lava is cleared. So I will see you then. And we are back. And it looks like we finally found our first piece of Firestone ore. Now, as you can see, I've moved the pump. Previously it was up there. I was pumping from up here. Didn't find a whole lot down here. Turns out that the lava flowed in and covered most of the revealed area, so it makes it kind of hard to search anyway. It did reveal this hole, though, which is kind of interesting. Not as interesting as the Firestone, though. So I'm going to mine it, and if I recall correctly, while we have it in our inventory, it is going to start setting fires around us, which I will have to avoid. So now, ow. Right. They are hard to avoid when they are appearing right in front of me. Yeah. So I'm going to have to rush this back to the base as soon as possible. Hope that was close. Hopefully, we'll make it past the wood part of my base into the kitchen bedroom part without setting it on fire. Most of the rest of my base is made out of stone, except the support beams in the workshop, of course, or in the factory. So it should be fireproof. And I'm going to dump this into... Oh, come on. Get rid of this. Drop it. There we go. Oop. Ow. Go away. Seems we managed without catching any of these supports on fire. It looks like it's already been processed. It should be sent into this crate, I think. Right? Where... where did it go? As you can see, I've changed the sorting system a bit, or the inputs for the ore processing system. Seriously, where did it go? There it is. So, by crushing the ore block, we now have raw Firestone. And if we check the usages of this, we need 4 diamond pickaxes to get a cut Firestone. Now, fortunately, as it happens, I have prepared for this, did this a while ago, and have these pickaxes right here. Now, it's still going to set fires around me, so I'm going to want to do this as quickly as possible. Put that there for now. I don't want these drawers to catch fire, or any of my crates, obviously. Alright, so now that that is done, we are going to need to do the last step. So we need 4 blocks of redstone and 4 lava buckets. And we have plenty of both of these things, so we are going to make 4 blocks of redstone. Said 4. Throw the rest of the dust back there, and then we need 3 more buckets. Should have that here, and I have plenty of lava. As you can see, let's just grab 3 buckets here. And then we put that there. And then do this. There we go. And this will get us refined Firestone. Take the buckets again. So now we have our finished Firestone finally. Now we just need to charge it. So we are going to head back to the Nether and cause kind of a mess. How much charge this thing can hold, but I believe it's something like 5,000 charges or something like that. Oh dear, I hate these things. Right. Hello, slime. Magma slime. Let's put out the fires on the way as well. I'm going to leave this pumping stuff here because with this Firestone I might want to get more lava eventually, and I might set up some kind of charging system in my base for this, but that is something for another episode. For now, we're just going to charge it here, and I have this convenient lava pool down here. You'll notice how the Firestone is no longer causing fires around us as well. So I'm just going to throw this in here. And it's obviously fireproof. And it is going to start draining lava to charge itself. Or more specifically, draining the heat from the lava, which is why it's cooling into obsidian. So it's going to drain all of the connected lava it can find, and then you just pop it, and we now have 225 charges out of 5,000. And you can do this with pretty much any lava that isn't flowing, of course. I don't know what happens if you do this. This might create a wall of lava. It does have a max range, so it can't obviously drain an entire lava ocean. Oh dear. That is very interesting. Interesting way of creating a dam for the lava. Well, sort of. this. We will throw it in here. No, not quite. Want to block off over there and probably over there as well. This might be a great tool to find more Firestone, especially if I combine it with an advanced miner. I think I'm going to want to... I prepared a fire resist potion for this. For transporting the Firestone ore, but turns out I didn't need it. But it's nice to have anyway. So I'm pretty much going to want to charge this fully. And now the Firestone, the uses of the Firestone is, the primary use is as a fuel source. So you can put this in a boiler and it will use charges of the Firestone to well, to generate heat for the boiler, of course. You can also use it as for lighting fires. So if you right click a block, it will use a charge and light a fire. Straightforward enough. Pretty sure you can also use it in a furnace, perhaps, as a fuel source. Not sure about that, but I can try that. This is a lot of obsidian, which is what I would use the advanced miner for, to get rid of the obsidian, of course. So yeah. Also, when you use the Firestone in a boiler, it is going to provide a speed bonus to for heating up. So the boiler will take less time, a lot less time, to heat up, which is the primary reason I want this for my personal locomotive. Because I can turn it off and it will cool down, obviously. And when I need to go somewhere again, I can just turn it on, and because of the Firestone, it will heat up a lot faster, and I can be on my way. And it will also use less fuel, obviously, because heating up the locomotive uses fuel, and the longer it takes, the more fuel it's going to use. So I'll probably bring the miner here and mine this obsidian to see if I can find more Firestones, because these are useful. And I'm not sure what we are going to be doing in the next episode. No, not at all, actually. But I'm sure I will think of something. There's lava up here, apparently. Oh dear. Yes, there was. I happen to be immune to lava right now, so it doesn't really matter. Ah. Seems the Firestone, since it touched that lava, actually, yeah, turned it into obsidian. So it does actively scan for nearby lava, so if it changes. So I should be able to create some kind of refilling station you can't charge the Firestone directly. You have to do it this way in the world. But I can use a floodgate to place lava in the world. I just need to figure out a way to remove the obsidian. And I don't have any block breakers. I do have robots, though, from Open Computers. That would probably be the best way of doing it, I think. Wow, it's charging a lot. Even though it's still draining from up there, even though... Ah, well, no, it stopped. Even though it wasn't connected. It seems I've actually managed to fill it up, which I wasn't quite expecting. Now, I am going to get out of here. Go back to the base. And I'm going to use this Firestone to assist me in constructing the rest of the railway. I'm going to leave all this stuff. As you can see, I also tried the... Whoa. Oh, there's some gas here. As you can see, I tried using a gas lift from Railcraft to do some pumping, but it turned out to have a much smaller... Hey. Radius than the Buildcraft pump. Oh dear. Can't see me because of the nether vines, or whatever they are called. So I gave up on using that pretty much immediately. Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be it for this episode. This took quite a while. Not for you, but for me. It's actually been a couple of days since I started, and pumping lava has taken many, many hours. But yeah, so with that, I will see you in the next episode.